Hi, my name is Chris Cates. I'm the head brewer over at Little Animals Brewery located in Johnson City, Tennessee. And I'm going to talk for a minute about how we use the Blichmann BeerGun successfully and why we think it's a great product for home brewers and pro brewers. By the time COVID hit and we couldn't open our tap room, which was planned for March, we had 18 barrels of beer in tanks that all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? So, coming from a background in home brewing, I ran a homebrew supply shop for 5 years prior to opening the brewery. I was like, well, we gotta just get the beer gun and start getting to work because we don't have enough money for something like a bottling line or canning line. So we bottled all 18 barrels of that first run of beers and sold it all curbside very successfully. Beers were holding up, the carb level was good, they weren't oxidized. And after getting all that packaged, I thought, well, maybe there's something we can get that would be some kind of upgrade. Every time I went searching for a new product to use to maybe reduce the time it takes us to bottle and can, I was like, there's nothing else that exists for us. So we kept on using the beer gun and kept on figuring out ways to increase our productivity with it rather than replace it. To date, since 2020, I've bottled 60 barrels of beer with our beer gun, which is 1,860 gallons or 14,087 500 milliliter bottles, which is what we use. Those stats are kind of unbelievable to me that we've done all that. We're working on now a double beer gun situation that should get us down to about 40 minutes a barrel and put like 3 barrel runs into reasonable reach without it taking all day. I realized, especially after starting dedicating us to that process, the beer gun is really all that exists that I can use for that, because most people in our genre of beer use like a wine filler, like a wine tank with like a like a float valve, like wine gravity filler. We can't use those because our beer has CO2 in it already. That is a huge factor for us because we don't really want to pay for separate equipment for clean and sour beers. You have to use the same thing, especially if we were to invest into something much more. The other thing is package quality. So especially using the hybrid method I described a minute ago, we get incredibly low dissolved oxygen in our beers, and that's been lab tested. We also get really good snappy carbonation because if you can imagine, it takes a really, really nice canning line or bottling line to get you 3+ volumes of CO2 in package and low DO. But we are able, using that method in the beer gun, to get, I think our last can release tested at 3.1 volumes of CO2 and 3 parts per billion dissolved oxygen, which is incredible. We would have to have a very, very expensive canning line that's way out of our budget to achieve that. I'm excited to keep using our beer gun because until we can afford a much larger canning or bottling line, I feel it's the best solution that we have. And I'm excited about working on a multi-beer gun filling situation that I'm toying with developing right now that should be able to get us down to about 40 minutes a barrel, which would be incredible and frankly all we need. You can follow us on social media if you want to see updates on that, because I'm sure I'll post about it when I get it finished. And cheers to all you pro brewers and home brewers out there.